Hey, hey, hey. We got 7 people on here. Yes. Welcome. Viral, right? All right. Thanks for being here, for the people who are. I know it's early, but I'm old and I would rather get this. I would start at, hey, Michelle. I'd start at like 8, you know, but I'd get absolutely nobody live at 8 o'clock. You guys don't have to do your names. Remember, that's on Google Classroom. So yeah, attendance is on Google Classroom for the rest of this week and next week. But yeah, I'm doing this because I want you guys to learn the information. A lot of it is vital, especially when we get into the civil rights movement, a lot of that stuff, you know what I mean? You just need to know as an American. And also, like I said this morning, you do have an EOC in September. I understand that's in September, but an A push student hasn't failed the EOC in, I believe, almost 5 years. So you don't want to be that one, right? That's embarrassing. So you don't want to fail the EOC. And I know they said it was canceled. They went back on it and said, oh, we just said the seniors, right? No, they didn't. But they set the laws. So they can say, oh, we meant for everybody who was graduating that the EOC is canceled. Well, that's not what you said. You said the EOC was canceled for this year. Not, it's canceled for seniors and everybody else is going to take it in September when they haven't had the information or been in front of a teacher in a classroom since the second week of March, right? Hey, Yuri. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. So you will have an EOC. Again, it's not that hard. You'll be fine. But if you've never heard some of the information before, a lot of it is on the Cold War, Vietnam War, stuff like that. During this, what we're going to cover in these videos until we're done, right? I'm not going to make these things long. They're going to be, this one's going to be even shorter than Tuesdays. And then we'll go on to the next subject. We'll probably do, the 50s, not the Cold War, but just like the 50s culture change that it is in the 50s. No, the EOC review is all of these. I'm not doing another. That's in September. You guys, you just watch these, you'll be fine. You're good. I don't know. Maybe I'll put something out there for you guys, but you'll be fine. Trust me. You guys, it is not hard, and then there's a crazy curve in it. So it'll be good to go. All right. Let's make me small. There we go. Cold War gathers steam. Ooh. All right. We only got 9 slides here, so but some important information on it. Yeah. Hey, Karis. So if anybody has any questions or anything, I know probably the 7 people that are watching don't have any missing work. Because that's why you're watching. You're not going to have any missing work. You don't have to comment your name. That's on Google Classroom. But if you do have missing work, make sure you get that in as soon as possible so I don't have to worry about it. It's not hard, Karis. It's about interpreting data. They give you a lot of it. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Tyler. And I would think this would be right up your alley, right? Cold War, all this stuff would be right up Tyler's alley. Yeah, there's only 11 assignments. So, it's not like I give you guys had 45 assignments last 9 weeks and you have 11 this one. So, I don't know how to do it differently. It's not a lot of work. And I'm not going to say anything. You don't have to say your names. That's on EOS. That's on Google Classroom. So, Marshall Plan. All right, this is where we left off yesterday. This was 1947. This was for European governments to recoup after World War II. All right. Because we didn't want them to go to communism. Because we wanted to give the aid. We didn't want Russia to give the aid. And we wanted to keep all these countries, everybody democratic, capitalistic, and not slide into communism. All right. Yeah. Stalin's like, you guys are not accepting. It's my best Russian voice. You guys are not accepting. That's almost like Schwarzenegger, but you guys are not accepting money from the U.S. That's a horrible, but I don't know. That's all I got. And really, the big one here, though, is the Berlin airlift. And they blockade Berlin. Because if you remember, you have East and West Germany, right? So you have East and West Germany, it's like this. You can see, right? I think my hands are in the right place. And then you have within East Germany, which is controlled by Russia, you have Berlin. So Berlin's here. So you have East Germany and then Berlin. And then Berlin is split in half to East and West Berlin. Now, the problem with that is West Berlin is U.S., France, and Great Britain, but they can't get, they're relying on getting all their supplies by truck that have to come from West Germany into East Germany and then go into West Berlin. I know that sounds crazy, like what I'm saying, but you should be able to picture that, right? And so Russia stops any supplies coming from West Germany into East Germany to get to West Berlin. So they have to come up with a way to get supplies in because the people that are living there need supplies because people need supplies to live, right? So they come up with, it's called Berlin airlift, where they start dropping, and there's no airports in West Berlin. So they just have to drop things in, okay? It's called the Berlin airlift, right? Yeah, the Soviets get the atomic bomb in 1949. You have the Korean War from 50 to 53. And this is where North Korea invades South Korea, okay? And because we are protecting the capitalistic countries of the world, we come to the aid of South Korea. This is why we still have, I believe, I'm sure Tyler can correct me if I'm wrong, around 60,000 troops still stationed in South Korea. Sorry, I forgot to turn off my cell phone. It's only on. Giacomo wants to send me something. He should be on here, not sending me something on Instagram, right? I'll look at it later. And there's 60,000 troops, okay, and the United States and the UN intervene. Oh, well. Now, yeah, I think there's about 60,000 troops in South Korea, which, you know what I mean? If you look back, if you think about it, if somebody put 60,000 troops, 60,000 Chinese, North Korean troops in Mexico, I think we'd have a big problem with that, right? So, not saying that, you know what I mean, some other countries aren't crazy, but the fact that we have 60,000 troops in South Korea, you know what I mean, it's going to put anybody who's in opposition to us on edge. I mean, put me on edge, right? So, West Germany, okay, joins NATO. So now they have West Germany, their government joins NATO, and you are going to be able to rearm themselves, all right? So then now we're going to have this thing between West Germany and East Germany, all right? And then you have the Warsaw Pact is basically the opposite of NATO. All the European countries are joining NATO, and, well, the West European countries are joining NATO, and then the Eastern European countries are joining the Warsaw Pact. All right, so you can see how the world is being separated between Russia, you know, at the tip of the spear, in the United States. Wow, I can't even talk this morning. United States at the tip of the spear on the other side, right? And then everybody following along behind him. So you have Russia and the United States, right? And this is the Cold War. This is what it is, all right, between the two of them. You have, Stalin like Hitler, yes, but he killed more people, technically. You know what I mean? Like, so, but he was different. Yeah, he didn't want to dominate the world. So really the thing between the two of them, Stalin wasn't trying to take over the world as like Russia take over the world. He wanted the ideology of communism to spread, but not necessarily him controlling all of it. That's a different thing anyways. Oh, I just saw what you said, Tyler. They don't teach us anything actually important in RTC. Oh. Evan's not tuning into these, so he can't retort and say something different. So this is what did I put here? Yeah, so the colonies in the third world, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute, okay, are going to be in Asia, then you have Africa, and they're going to be decolonized here pretty quickly, okay? Because remember, England or Great Britain has, that was the saying, the sun never sets on the English Empire. Man, I really can't talk this morning. Red leather, yellow leather, right? You got to do that to get your mouth going. Yeah, so England is huge. Their empire is stretching around the globe, right? It never sets. The sun never sets on the English Empire, meaning that they have an empire. They have somewhere, a colony, a territory, somewhere where the sun is always shining on it, right? But that's by 1900s, okay? So all those non-European world were controlled by empires. So you have Asia, Africa, Middle East. These are all controlled by European countries. They went around and they're like, oh, we're gonna take control of all these people. But both of these world wars weakened their empires because, France is being just absolutely demolished in World War II and World War I. And so their power they have to rebuild themselves before they can worry about other empires that they have in Africa and Asia and stuff like that. Same thing with England, right? England controlled India. They controlled just huge portions of Africa. Same thing with the Dutch. So all these empires were being weakened after the two world wars, all right? And as other countries were being like, self-determination, remember who was trying to come up with self-determination? You have, Wilson's 14 points. You have all these people saying that, hey, countries should be on their own. And, America says it, but then at the same time, we're trying to control South Africa. Man, I'm sorry. This is, South American countries, right? But they're not a territory. They're independent, but they are dependent on the United States. So that's the difference, okay? So imperialism, look at this. Great Britain. Look at this. Pow, 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 pow. Pow. Pow, 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 pow. That's a lot of land for a little tiny island up here, okay? Look at France. Look what France has. Just all over the place. The Netherlands, that's Indonesia, but that's a huge portion. And so you have all the way down, you know what I mean? Belgium has some big, huge things in Africa. So this is imperialism right at the beginning of the 20th century, okay? Now, as World War II ends, decolonization is going to spread like wildfire. Okay, because Japan is losing all their colonies because they lost. And when you lose, people get to tell you what to do, right? Cold water. What you itching? Why are you itching? Spencer. Shh. They don't want to hear you itching. You don't have any fleas. Okay. Sorry. And so you have all these different independent states are going to, in states by meaning, I don't mean United States, I mean countries, right? Emerge from the 40s to the 1970s, all right? And it's all because of World War II. So if you look at first wave, 1940s and 50s in Asia. So before 1950, okay, these decolonized. 50 to 59, 60 to 69, and after 70. All right? Not many. You have Oman. This is going to be 1970s. This is going to be Somalia, okay? And you have East Pakistan, Bangladesh. It changes. Then it changes from East Pakistan to Bangladesh, and then you have Myanmar. But these are all, and this is where it splits. And this is a big thing. This is, this line right here, because, well, we won't get into this because that gets crazy. But you can see in Asia this decolonization and what it does. And so you're creating all these new countries that are going to be, whenever a new country is created, right, they're not at their strongest, just like us. After we win the Revolutionary War, we need help from other countries, and Great Britain and France kind of try to take advantage of us because we're just starting off. We're kind of weak. And that's what ends up going into the War of 1812. That stuff, you guys should already know that. So these decolonization, these creation of new countries is going to, it's like a vacuum for either, because what are we competing with now? You'll have communism and capitalism, right, are going to compete for these new countries and have influence in these countries. Now you have Africa. Before 1950, not very much, right? 1950 to 1959, 60 to 69, that's when it really starts happening, okay? And so eventually all these countries are going to be independent and they're going to lose their colonization, all right? But the fight for all of these is going to intensify, all right? Between them. Wow, this is shorter than I even thought. We should have just finished this yesterday. Tuesday. But I guess 69. Oh, gosh. Teenagers. You young whippersnappers. Yeah, 60 to 69. That's when you have some more changes here. South Africa. This is going to be big going forward. But you have a couple different ones, all right? So as this decolonization continues, you are going to have people competing for resources, markets, all these things in the third world. So all these countries that are forming, that are trying to get an identity, you're going to have the United States, CIA. This is where the big spy agencies really come into being, right? They're going to press their influence in these countries to try and gain United States or Russian power in these countries. We're going to give them aid in exchange for, especially a lot of these countries that have a lot of big natural resources, right? Oil is coming in. We still have a lot of oil in the United States, but it hasn't been discovered really yet. I'm trying to remember the date in that they really started discovering the huge resources of oil in the Middle East. It's not for a little bit, I don't believe. But so what are we going to do? Are we going to support the Allies? Because remember, they still have all these countries, right? It's not until the 60s that some of them are they're losing them, or are we going to support the locals and their strive for independence, which we are a champion of, right? We're like, yeah, independencia, as long as you help us when we give you your independence, right? That's our asterisk at the end of independencia. I can never say that really well. Too many syllables in a row. So there's two different perspectives on all these things, right? Allied perspective, third world perspective. Like, what are they looking at when they're like, hey, we want to start, our country. We need some backup. We want to join the UN. We want to do all these things. And, these established countries that were part of the Allies in World War II are like, hey, we need to make some money back. We lost a lot of stuff, especially European ones. We came out, we are like, I know there's an argument that the 50s for the United States was the best time. If you were a white person in the 50s, right? Because if you were black or most any other ethnic person, that's not going to, the 50s aren't going to be the best. But as far as economically, the United States in the 1950s are untouchable. The amount of money we made off of World War II and how we turned around our economy is just, hasn't been seen since. So, the problem is it's going to lead to the Vietnam War. Okay. And the Vietnam War is just what it is. It's North Korea being backed by China, South Korea being backed by us, and getting into these are called, well, I'll let you hang on that one when we get to it. What's up, Alex? What's poppin'? I don't know. I'm just hanging out, Hopefully everybody gets their grades turned in so I can be finished too. And to chase people down yesterday. So the problems of the Cold War, the big one is it leads to the Vietnam War. And that's a big deal for us, okay? And so Tuesday, we'll come back with the boom of the 50s and the culture, the socioeconomic of the United States, not really this world perspective of the Cold War. So it's going to be more, we're going to talk about all the new inventions, all the new things. We're getting colors TV, the suburbs are popping up around cities. This is some of the 50s that especially people, those baby boomers look back on and they're like, oh, the 50s were the best. Until the counterculture movement of the 60s, right, is a direct opposition to the 50s. So also because of the civil rights movement, right? So that's going to be, what's going forward. So this one's a short one. It's only 20-something minutes long, right? So that's all I got. And, we have a good Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody, the thing about Memorial Day is you're remembering all the people that fought for our freedom, whether or not you believe in the military now as, us being in other places or not, or what, it doesn't matter. Like, Memorial Day is for all the people who gave their lives for our country, Revolutionary War, World War I, all the wars that we had to fight and that we were not, they're not controversial. But, it's still anybody. You're asking somebody, they gave their lives for their country. There's nothing more you can do, right? We've talked about it. People have said, it's just can't do any more than that. So, Kodachrome, yes, definitely. Can't forget that, Alex. Definitely, that was, that's like 5 slides on my PowerPoint on Tuesday. Not really. But yeah. So everybody have a great Memorial Day. That's Monday. Remember what it's about. Stay safe. Still try to, nobody wants to get this thing. Yeah. I'm actually going, I think Tuesday's when I go into school. Yeah. Tuesday's when I go into school. I think I'm going to school like 11 or something like that. So I'll do the lesson and then head down to Boca. I'm going into the classroom to kind of shut it down and be looking for. I'll post some stuff on Instagram. Oh, that would be funny if I did the lesson from in class. I wonder if I could log in, grab the flags. No. The flags are staying up. I'm not taking the flags down. I might grab a couple extra ones that I have. But I should try and do that. All right? Do a special edition from the classroom if I could stream it. That would be funny. Right? I have to wear a face mask the entire time, they said. I could do it with a face mask on. See if I could stream it. Yeah, Ruben, it happened last Friday. This is all the stuff that we didn't cover before the exam. Yeah, I'm staying in the same room so far. They gave me my schedule, and I'm going to teach 6 classes again, AP US, but my one period off is going to be 4th period. So I'm going to teach 1, 2, 3, have off 4th, and then teach 5, 6, 7, right? No. I'm not taking anything down. If anything, I'd be putting stuff up, right, if I have time. But, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think I should do a special edition A-Push Screen live from 4312, right? No more shop class in high school. Really? No, that's sad. Because, I can build all kinds of stuff out of wood and metal and, obviously I built a whole car, so twice. Yeah, that sucks. Because that's important for everybody to know, right? How to work with your hands. Yeah, Navika, I think I'll try and do that because I'm not gonna have a lot of time. I only have 2 hours in there, but I don't know. All I had to bring is my my mic and the webcam, right? Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. I have no idea. No idea, Alex. I don't know what econ. I mean, I know what economics is, but I taught it 10 years ago, so I don't know what is on it. Spencer, do you want to come up here? He just looked at me like, "Oh my God, I don't think so." You want to come up, bud? They want to see you. Well, that tail tells me yes. Come here. He's like, "Oh no, I didn't know what that meant." Come here. Come here. Ugh. Come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Oh, come here. I know. Ugh. I got you. See? They wanted to see you. He's like, I don't know. Oh, I'll scratch you in the right spot. Right here on your side. You like it. Yeah, he likes it. Okay, buddy. He is a good boy. All right, guys. Nice short one today. Half an hour. And we will cut it off here. Everybody have a great weekend. Have some fun this weekend. I don't know if you guys saw this one. No tread on me. You can't see it, but oh well. No, he can't come to Sebring. You can't bring dogs to Sebring. Yeah. So November 14th, Sebring. Can't wait. Okay, guys. We'll see you. Have a great weekend, and we'll start off on the 1950s. Maybe it'll be a special edition from 4312. Woo! All right. See ya. Bye-bye.